First day of padded practice, and Russell Wilson returns. Kind of. Justin Fields continues to make things interesting, and rookie receiver Roman Wilson was carted off with an ankle injury. All that and more, Big Deke News. Okay, things are heating up. I think this is a legit quarterback competition. Today was Russell Wilson's first day back, first padded practice of training camp, and Russ really wasn't back all the way. He was somewhat limited. He took only 2 snaps in the full team drills, and they were handoffs. He participated in the 7-on-7. He went 7 for 7, so he looked good in that regard. But Fields was, again, QB1 for the majority. Maybe not as much as he was the first 4 days, but if you were just from the outside looking in and watching today's practice and someone asked you, who do you think has the upper hand in this quarterback competition, you would probably say Justin Fields based off how the work was allocated yet again. And it just so happens, based on all accounts, Justin Fields was the big winner of day 5 training camp. Like, this was Justin Fields' day. We got to see all the stuff we have seen from him from like a positive standpoint, a good standpoint from those first 4 days. We got to see all that, the athleticism, the arm talent and everything, the wow factor that Justin Fields brings to the table. But he was also the most buttoned up he's been thus far in a Steeler uniform. Like, just put it all together in today's session. Looked like the guy. So what do you make of it, man? Like, you can't tell me what's transpired thus far just completely means nothing, because you got 2 guys that the organization doesn't have like that much tie to either way. With Russ, we got him on a vet minimum contract, and with Fields, we traded a 6th-round pick for him. He's still on his rookie deal. If anything, Fields is the one that's getting paid more out of the 2 this year from the Steelers. I know Russ is still getting his bag from the Broncos, but if you want to talk about like a certain leaning or an affinity towards more of an affinity towards one of these guys, which way did the Steelers, would they sway? I don't know at this point. I mean, Russell Wilson did have the pole position coming into training camp, but what do they say? Availability is your best ability. And Russ hasn't been out there. Now, going back to what I said yesterday, this could mean a couple things. It could mean Tomlin is just really easing Russ back into practice, and he has full faith in him. He doesn't want to risk that calf injury any further. He has belief in Russ. Like, there's no need for him to see him out there practicing, despite Russ being on a new team and having new teammates and being in a new system and everything. Tomlin believes in Russ. He believes in the pedigree. He believes in the heart of a champion, the guy being a future Hall of Famer, all that stuff, right? Or maybe with Tomlin having Russ sit out all this time, maybe he doesn't give a shit who's out there, and he really is like, may the best man win. All right, you're not 100% ready. Let's not risk further injury. I want to see Justin Fields. It's cool. That could be the case. Or maybe the injury is a little bit worse than what's being let on. But I don't buy that, just because Russ said if it was a game, he'd be good to play. He actually wanted to be out there for day 1. So I don't know. I just don't think it means nothing, considering all the circumstances here. That we're 5 days in. Both of these guys are trying to get acclimated to their new team. So you mean to tell me Justin Fields hasn't gained an edge on Russell Wilson at all over these first 5 days of training camp, with Fields being out there as QB1 while Russ has been on the sidelines doing limited work? And the day that he's supposed to be back, the first padded practice day, he's again limited. I mean, he's doing more work, but still limited. Looked good in the 7-on-7s and everything, but in the team drills, only 2 snaps, 2 handoffs. Whereas Fields, this was his most complete day. You mean to tell me Fields doesn't get a little bit of a bump up from that at all? Mike Tomlin, Arthur Smith aren't looking at themselves, sitting there on the sideline watching what Fields can do, and they're saying, like, man, this is what the offense could look like with the Justin Fields, like at a full potential, at a full ceiling. I don't know if we can get that from a Russ. I believe in myself as a coach. Like Tom was saying, I believe in myself as a coach. Arthur Smith's saying, I'm one of the best offensive coordinators out there. I think I could tap into that potential. I did it with frickin' Ryan Tannehill down in Tennessee. Now, again, if chips are on the line, money's on the line, Steelers got to win the most games possible for this upcoming season. I'm still going with Russ. But again, I'm not the one making these decisions. I don't know how closely tied they are to Russ. Maybe I was off from the beginning here. Maybe I was off. Now, it still could remain to be seen because if Russ gets back fully healthy, Tomlin gives him all the QB1 reps, he's QB1 in the preseason games, then maybe this is a stupid conversation. But I don't think these last 5 days just mean nothing. I think really this is going to be more interesting than what I thought when it comes to who's going to be our quarterback for 2024, man. Watch out. Watch out. Fields might make this really interesting. I think it's as open of a competition as it's ever been this offseason. I'll put it to you that way. Okay, let's get to some other stuff that happened today. Roman Wilson, Steelers rookie receiver, third-round pick, out of Michigan, was carted off with an ankle injury. There's really not much to talk about with this one because we don't have any updates. I think he just fell awkwardly on a jet sweep, ended up getting carted off. It's not good news at all. Definitely not good news. If anything, it does make you think that Steelers should be a little bit more eager to find an additional receiver in this room because this is where we can be left if it's just one injury to any of these receivers that are in the top 3 or 4 on the depth chart, particularly Pickens. Like, we could be decimated. So without Roman Wilson, now we got Pickens, we got Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin. Not terrible. I mean, it seems like Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin are looking pretty good out there in training camp. But, yeah, just you're like 1 or 2 injuries away from this wide receiver room getting decimated. So, like, yeah, we might need to scoot someone up. The problem is I looked at the free agent market again. I just wanted to double check real quick, and it's not much. It's still bleak. Nothing's changed. I don't know why I felt the need to double check because the big name is Michael Thomas, and then I looked around too at some of the other names. It's Hunter Renfrow. That's not bad. Russell Gage, Kendrick Bourne, I think's out there. It's kind of bleak. Marquise Goodwin, Randall Cobb, no. Martavis Bryant, Anthony Miller. That would be a name I could see us signing. That's a person I could see us spinning the block on. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens with Roman Wilson. He's been balling out from all counts, so we want him back as soon as possible. We want him as healthy as possible. This is a bummer. I wonder, yeah, I guess we'll just wait and see. I was going to say, I wonder if the Steelers make a corresponding move and bring in a receiver with this Roman Wilson injury information, but like if he's only going to be out a week, maybe they don't rush. And I don't think this changes us trading for Ayuk one way or another because it's just that's such a big move in and of itself. If Roman Wilson's like out for the season, that's a different story. But I don't know. This doesn't sound too bad. I'm hoping for something really short and Roman Wilson's back out there as soon as possible. I think we all can agree on that, right? That's probably the most obvious statement I've made this whole show today. But roster moves. Steelers did make some roster moves. They released cornerback Josiah Scott. Who was a guy that was in the slot cornerback conversation with Beanie Bishop, Graylin Arnold, Anthony Averett. And they also released wide receiver Marquez Callaway. So we're just talking about Roman Wilson going down with an injury. We just released a receiver that could have been just helpful as being a camp body, at least, with Roman Wilson, or with us being another man short in the receiver room. So who knows? We might just literally pick back up Marquez Callaway for however many days Roman Wilson's out, just to have an extra guy in there. But with those two releases, we did pick up two guys. We signed tight end Matt Scoble.
Who?
And defensive back Kyler McMichael.
Who?
I'll just put it to you this way. These two guys, journeyman dudes in the league, practice squad guys, bounced around a little bit. Not too much to talk about here. With this tight end pickup, Matt Scoble, he's probably just, I think both of these guys are camp bodies, but Matt Scoble in particular, I think he's just an extra guy to have in the tight end room because Rodney Williams is out with some type of AC joint or shoulder injury. And Rodney Williams, he might actually have a chance to make the team as a special teams guy, depth tight end, bottom of the depth chart type of dude. So if he's going to be out, not going to be able to get snaps or take reps, then, yeah, I guess Steelers just figured let's get another guy in that can do it. And then with Kyler McMichael, maybe it's just we release Josiah Scott, and he's a cornerback, and we get Kyler McMichael in there, and he's a defensive back, so it's just like a one-to-one swap. But I do think if you're going to look at the Josiah Scott release, I think it is a good sign for Beanie Bishop because a lot of people are talking highly about Beanie Bishop in training camp, that he's been kind of getting the number one slot corner reps, and he's been taking advantage of that time. So if anything, I think it's a good sign for Beanie Bishop not having Josiah Scott here. I don't know if this Kyler McMichael dude plays in the slot or not, what he can do, but I think if anything, goes to show Beanie Bishop might be making this 53-man roster. Outside of that, I think that's it for today's show. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on this quarterback competition. Roman Wilson being carted off with an ankle injury. I think we all share the same opinion. Not happy about it at all. But what do you think it means for potential Steeler moves that can be made here? Do you think they would be quick to make a move? I guess it all depends on the information. So don't even answer that. Don't even answer that. It depends on how long Wilson's out. If it's just a day or two, if it's just a week or two, I don't think we're going to be in a rush to make any moves. Serious moves. You know what I mean? And then I guess with the other, I don't know if you guys have an opinion on us releasing Josiah Scott, Marquez Callaway, and bringing in Matt Scoble or Kyler McMurray. But if you do, let me know. Stay chilling. Hope you guys enjoyed. And peace.